pretty special to be able to fish for these kind of fish. You know, 20-minute outside of town here. You got one of the biggest cities in the U.S. and got trout swimming right through them.
One more, baby. Yeah, good fish. Yup. Welcome back to Fly Shop Tour. My name is Joseph. We're here in my home state of Georgia. It's great to be back. I'm super excited to go see some friends at two shops that I've been to a lot. First stop, up in Helen, Georgia, Unicoi Outfitters.
Gonna come to your town, gonna find your corner, and we'll soon be knocking on your door.
For those who don't know Helen, Georgia, everything is like this German architect. It's so bizarre. I think Unicoi Outfitters is the first fly shop I ever walked into.
Well, this isn't a shop I've been in a while.
Hey Joseph, how are you?
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you. How you been?
Been good.
Good.
Nice to be back in the South.
Great to have you.
I'm sure not a whole lot has changed, but I'm sure some has.
A little bit, yeah. Come on back. We'll show you around.
Jimmy, good to see you.
Good to see you, man. I'm glad to have you back.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Y'all have even loaded up more stuff in here than when I was in here last. Tell me about it.
Yeah, we got more than we know what to do with, man. We got everything you need to fish in the area here. You know, reels, the fly bin here in the center. There's terminal tackle over here, leaders, tippet, gadgets, fly tying wall, kayaks, waders and boots, and then of course technical fishing apparel, and last but not least, the Costa Del Mar display up front too as well.
Tell us about the fly selection. Tell us about what we're going to be using today.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all have a pretty awesome selection here.
Yeah, so we like to keep a big variety of flies, but here today we're going to start out, we're going to do a little bit of trout fishing. Since the water's low and clear, we've been catching fish on a lot of small stuff. One of my favorites here is this ruby midge, which is a localized pattern. You can't get this many places, and it doesn't look like much, but it's made of embroidery floss, so as you fish it and the fish chew on it, that floss starts to fray and it looks more and more like a real bug. So catching a lot of fish on that lately. And then we may get a chance to get out and do a little bit of river bass fishing. And we'll get into that. We're probably gonna be slinging a little bit bigger stuff. These game changer style flies in here work really well as some of our crayfish patterns too as well. So
fun stuff. I haven't done a lot of the bass fishing up here. I've tried to listen to you and Wes and Henry and Jeff and all the guys and try to absorb as much as I could, but never got it done. So excited to hopefully get it done today.
It's a really cool resource. Georgia has 10 black bass species in the state, and we have some species that are very, very limited range fish. So a lot of angling opportunity around the area. You know, it gives people a big diversity to go do something different. You know, we like to say that we're Atlanta's playground. We're about an hour and a half north of Atlanta. We've got a lot of options here. They can stop by the shop. Hey, what's happening? You know, we just had a gentleman in here a minute ago that's wanting to go catch a Chattahoochee bass. You know, if you're looking for trout intel, bass intel, whatever you may be looking for, we're always willing to help.
One of the cooler things about this shop is y'all are always willing to donate trips or help out in any way. Would love to talk about that.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. I can't say that we started the shop with that in mind, but it just evolved. It's an easy place to do things that help the fishing community, the environmental community, or just the community in general, just helping people. Through the personal connections that we have, we got involved with Casting for Recovery, and we're a strong, strong supporter of that. We do a lot with Project Healing Waters. There's a new group called Reeling in Serenity, which deals with addicts and their efforts to break the addiction. As you've probably discovered, fly fishing is an interestingly therapeutic thing to do. I have said this on many occasions. You won't get rich in the fly fishing industry, but you'll feel rich.
It was a different experience than any time I'd walked in the shop, because I had to see it through the lens of what if I was seeing it for the first time again. What's really cool about Georgia is there's a lot of native bass species. So what we wanted to do was a 2-part day, and we went with Jake Darling, who is an absolutely amazing person.
What are we fishing with on the bottom there?
Duracell.
Oh, wow. Welcome back to North Georgia.
What do we need, like 3 trout?
So we'll start right here, work
Yeah,
our
you
way
can jump
across.
in right here. Start out back here and then we'll work up. Uh-oh. They don't have those in Colorado, do they? If you can catch us a couple right here, we're pretty quick. We can go to a river that's really big.
I had to shake the cobwebs off a bit.
3rd time's the charm, baby.
That might be on him. Oh,
There we go.
delayed hook set.
Immediately got the skunk off.
There we go.
There we go.
Good job, dude.
It's a proper fish. Everyone, the skunk is off the board with a rainbow. Jake, thank you.
You bet, man. Good job. Joseph, let's slide up to this bend up here and catch one more, and then that way we can be out.
Alrighty.
Stocked trout in North Georgia, like you have blue lines where you can find wild rainbows, you can find the native brook trout, but we wanted to get that fish out of the way, get that skunk off.
There we
Yep.
go. Good job.
There we go.
Perfect. It's on that little bitty midge too.
It's so subtle, you just have to like see something that's different.
Yeah, you gotta have an itchy trigger finger, that's for sure.
Nice. They definitely fight good. You got that thing tail walking.
There we go.
Nice.
Good job, brother.
There we go.
The whole time I was just thinking about what we were gonna do in the afternoon.
We got our two.
We
two
caught a few trout. You wanna go experience something a little bit different?
Let's do it. I haven't done the shoal bass before, so I've done trout.
Yeah, let's
all
go
the
give it a
time.
try.
Let's go do it.
All right.
We loaded up in the Broncos. We headed out, and Jake took us to this spot that was insane. My biggest regret in living in the Southeast and living in Georgia is that I didn't figure out the bass and I didn't bass fish enough.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped. This is gonna be awesome. Like, this water looks epic.
And I knew Jake was like a wizard.
We got the 7-weight out. Pretty excited about that. 7-weight, sink line. I think we're gonna throw like a game changer or a little crawdad pattern, and yeah, we'll just go hit some buckets.
Let's go down here and jump in. We should be able to slip across right down through here in the back of the hole.
Alrighty. Whoa.
Jake and I are just running up and down the river, hitting different pockets, hitting ledges, because you're looking for that predatory response.
Hit that pocket right there over your right shoulder too, real quick, and then we'll keep on going.
You're just picking apart this pocket water. Like, it looks like there could be trout there.
Is that the fish dance?
Oh.
You got a little tickle?
I need to do that more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dance away, dude.
I need to dance away.
I had a few pretty big bumps.
Oh, that was really cool.
What happened?
Dunk, dunk.
The sections where I was like hooking fish, quote unquote, were pretty deep spots with a lot of structure. You have to fish structure to get to those fish, but we did not come out of the shoal bass fishing with any fish.
Lights going down. Wanted to really thank Jake and Unicoi for having us out, taking us to some awesome trout water, showing us warm water. I super appreciate you and the shop and everything you've done, and it's also just really nice to start the time back in the home state like this.
You bet, man. We're glad to have you. Appreciate you coming. Had an awesome time fishing with you. Wish the fish would have cooperated a little bit more this afternoon, but hey, that's fishing.
Let's go get some dinner.
Sounds good.
We'll see y'all on the road.
It was time to head down to the city. We go down to downtown Atlanta, went to the Varsity, which is an institution in Atlanta. We pull up the Broncos and we pull up a drift boat into the Varsity parking lot, which probably the first time that's ever happened.
We're gonna walk you through my order. When I think about the Varsity, I think about going to, back when the Braves were at Turner Field, going to a Tech game growing up. I am a dog fan now, but when I was a Tech fan growing up, I mean, it's right across the highway here. Here's what we're doing. Number 7, 2 slaw dogs with onion rings and an FO. FO, it's like drinking a creamsicle. Grab that slaw dog. It's okay to be messy. Cheers. This is probably the most important part of your varsity meal. The fresh fried apple pie. Look at that. That is just magnificent. Welcome. Welcome to Atlanta.
We had an early morning the next day. What we were gonna do is we were gonna go to what I would consider my local shop, Alpharetta Outfitters.
What's up, man?
Joseph, how are you, buddy?
Good to see you.
Good to see you, man. Long time no see.
I know.
Life going all right?
Been like since Christmas.
It has been. Well, you want a little tour?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool, sounds good. All right, here, let's go on back here.
Since I left for Athens in college, what's been going on with the shop?
Sure, shop's changed, quite a bit, probably even just from then, when I used to get to see you coming back in on college break or anything like that. We've gotten into hosted travel.
Oh, sweet.
So that's been a really cool addition to the store as well. We added a guide service to the shop, which is kind of a new endeavor in my own to be able to kind of learn how to run and manage that. But the hosted travel has definitely been the most fun, finding where you want to take guests, customers of the shop that you've made really good friends and contacts with over the years. As far as a gear standpoint, it's been fun to kind of add to the variety of the shop as far as just bringing in different rod and reel brands, adding to our saltwater selections from flat sneakers to spay rods, things along those lines that, again, kind of starting into business here earlier on, like we didn't really see an application to it, but we saw that the market was definitely interested in it.
There's an event we're coming to tonight that y'all do monthly. Tell us about Bugs and Suds.
So we call it a Fly Tying Social. It's a monthly event. One of the cool things about it is that we don't advertise it as like a tying class, although it's kind of evolved into having a beginner's tying table to kind of be able to allow anyone walking in to be able to have their first chance to tie fly. We usually have a brewery that sponsors, which is awesome. We'll have the grill going or ordering pizza. Tonight we're gonna have a little bit more of an exciting night where we're gonna be doing Tie for a Cause. We end up asking tyers to contribute their flies at the end of the night to 3 different nonprofits that we like supporting locally. So that'll be a good time. I know you've spent plenty of time here on our local tailwater, but we've got just a great tool that we use here in the shop, and we spend a lot of time around this board and getting to talk to people about our local tailwater, the Chattahoochee, a cold water fishery. And just here in downtown Alpharetta, 20 minutes from us here, we have an easy access point that is one of our favorites, Jones Bridge. The great set of shoals right there, easy to wade, from someone who's a little bit older and maybe struggles with wading. Nice set of stairs that they're able to get into the water, wade around a beautiful set of shoals and an island, and they can catch stocked rainbows, wild brown trout, which is one of the amazing things about the Hooch that, just outside of a city of 8 million people or more, we have a fishery that sustains wild fish. So that's something that we really like to protect, we advocate for, and we really try to educate people about that resource. We're always gonna have the nice high-end gear as well for you for down the road, but we wanna get you out there and get you excited about fishing locally and kind of open the door to fly fishing for you.
Along those lines, what does a fly shop mean to you?
I would say, something that I never imagined that it would become has been, just a big piece of community for myself. The closeness that we've kind of seen in the community between a couple of the events that we've done between the Striper tournament and between Bugs and Suds, you see regulars come out and you see people that aren't even into fly fishing, which is kind of cool. You see kind of a periphery of their own family coming out and hanging out because, fly fishing attracts some great people, some super kind people that are passionate about being outside, whether it's fly fishing or hiking or what have you. So I just love the community family aspect of the Atlanta fly fishing community and being able to be a small part of that. So.
Well, thanks so much for showing us around the shop. It's
Absolutely,
good to be here,
man,
snooping on the water.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a fun time tomorrow. There's really something special about coming home to your home fly shop and getting to share it with y'all. I mean, this is the place where I cut my teeth, I learned how to fly fish, and there's some special people. I'm really excited to get out on the water tomorrow with Gabe from Fishhawk, with the folks from Alpharetta Outfitters. We're gonna have a great time. We'll see you there.
The power company in Georgia, when they built Buford Dam, accidentally created perfect trout habitat. We were floating with not only Alpharetta Outfitters, but also the Fishhawk. Despite them competing for customers, they work together because they care about the fly fishing community. They care about the places that they're trying to conserve and the community they're trying to grow in Atlanta around fly fishing.
Is that a raccoon?
Yes.
Dude, there was one, I don't know if you saw the trash panda outside the bathroom like just a minute ago. Oh yeah, I came out and I turned to the right and I was like, hey bud.
Welcome to our day of fishing here in Georgia. This is my home river where I learned how to fly fish. We're here with Jeff from Alpharetta Outfitters. We saw him yesterday. It was great to see you at the shop.
Good time, man.
And
Absolutely.
Gabe from the Fishhawk. This is our first time meeting. We got Mark from TU here to talk about the river, talk about Crayfish Creek, which we'll go by, but this river has a natural reproducing brown trout population, which is crazy. We've seen the city, it's huge. The fact that that exists in a metropolitan area is absolutely insane. So we're really excited. Go catch some of these wild browns, catch a few rainbows, maybe pull some big ones on streamers, but let's get after it.
That's the goal, all right.
We all put in, we ran shuttle, we hopped back in, and we had fog, we had that haze over the river, we had overcast skies, so the streamer bite was on.
Oh, bump.
Bump.
We're getting into the juice here.
Getting into the juicy stuff.
We're in the juice.
Oh, I saw
I
that.
missed it.
I saw that.
My hand slipped.
I missed a ton of fish.
I just need one to stick.
One to stick.
I was on the boat with Jeff to start the day. Gabe, the owner of the Fishhawk, was on the boat with the head guide for Alpharetta Outfitters.
You got some shallower but pretty fishy looking logs on the left side through here too, but it's slower so you can take your time.
Cool to see that dynamic of the owner of one of the historic fly shops in the country and the head guide of like their competing fly shop.
Back there? Yeah, well, even kind of down right where these logs are. Yeah.
On a boat together, sharing the boat together, fishing together.
Oh, there we go. Oh, in the tree. First one.
Ooh, there you go. That's
There
a
it is.
fish. There you go. All right.
Woohoo! Yeah, buddy. Nice. Dude. Yes. Nice. Good job, dude.
Sit. Yes, there you go. Is he on? What?
Tiny, 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 tiny brown.
Yeah. No, it's
Rainbow.
like, this is a fish that looks,
This fish looks
I don't think
wild.
they would stock it. It's beautiful. You could definitely see more wild characteristics on it than you see on your typical stocked fish.
We're right about to pull up to Crayfish Creek. I mean, that's just what's so important about these projects that are happening on this river is that's the future of this river.
That's the kind of take we're waiting on right there. That's what we like.
So we stopped at Crayfish Creek, the mouth of Crayfish Creek.
The confluence.
The confluence of Crayfish Creek and the Chattahoochee. We got the sub bucket here. Look at this. We got pub subs for everyone. I think Mark and I are going to talk a little bit about Crayfish Creek, which is a project that's really near and dear to my heart. When I was a Five Rivers student at Georgia, I was involved in the Embrace a Stream portion of the fundraising for this project to help restore this stream. So really excited to have Mark out here fishing with us. The fish karma's real. Mark's been wearing them out. You've seen what I've been doing. So really excited for him to talk about this stream with us.
Okay. Well, what you see here is nothing what it used to look like before. So it looked like what we saw downstream, which is very steep banks, 8 to 15 feet high. Whenever the Beaufort Dam releases water, water surges up this creek, and the high water point is up beyond where our work stopped. We did this with a lot of volunteers. That's something I want to emphasize. I mean, we had heavy equipment come in and do the sculpting of the banks, but pretty much everything beyond that was done with manual labor. And there were days here we had 100 or more volunteers, and it wasn't just, although it was started as an Embrace the Stream project with Five Rivers, a Coney River chapter, an Upper Chattahoochee chapter, all part of Trout Unlimited, brought in a lot of high school kids. We brought in other conservation groups that helped us, and so we just had a lot of people here. And since we have done this work, the turbidity from the surges have gone from being very, very much filled with sediment and very turbid water to almost clear water.
But there's still probably about I think 200 yards of creek between where we're standing now and the river. What's the future plan for Crayfish Creek?
The future plan is to do downstream from this point to the confluence with the river, the exact same thing we did up here.
Hopefully at the event we're doing at the Fishhawk, raising money for the project, that'll take out a small chunk, but it's a chunk.
Every chunk helps, believe me.
So we're excited to raise money for it. It's a project near and dear to my heart. I know you're good friends with Jay and the rest of the people at Five Rivers and Trout Unlimited all across this state. So I really appreciate you showing this to us, and I think we'll get back to fishing. Super cool to see that project and to have someone there to walk us through everything that had happened there. Oh yeah, there we go. That was quick. Nice. There we go.
All right, we just did a quick boat switch up, hopped in with Joe, and first little run here, got this pretty little rainbow. It's pretty special to be able to fish for these kind of fish, 20-minute outside of town here. You got one of the biggest cities in the US and got trout swimming right through them.
Come on, baby. Yeah, good fish. Yup, rainbow. Fish is not an issue. Boys, boom, hey, let's go.
It's starting to get dark because we milked this float a little bit longer than we should have. We ran back up to go get the cars that we shuttled, and it wasn't by, but just see you later because we had the event the next night at the Fishhawk. Yesterday was a long float, a ton of fun. Started early, ended in the dark. It was a great time with Jeff from Alpharetta, and we'll see Gabe later here at the event. But first, we're gonna do a segment I like to call Wash Your If the exterior isn't clean, you're gonna transmit invasive species from fishery to fishery, which is bad. Now you can continue with the interior. Make sure to get all the yucky sand and grime out. Once the initial wash is done, you get to use soap. This gets messy sometimes. Get her all nice and bubbly. Don't forget to spray down your tornado anchor, both sides. Don't forget the trailer. Now brush that And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you clean your We set up the event, we had a bunch of people turn out, and it was really cool because last year at these events, we were behind the table shelling out raffle tickets, and all of a sudden we looked up and the event was over and it was really awesome and we raised a bunch of money, but didn't really feel like we got to interact with some people. And this year at the Atlanta show, a bunch of Five Rivers kids from Georgia Tech and Georgia showed out, and we're like, how can we help? What was really cool was getting to interact with all these people, tell them about what Fly Shop Tour was all about, and hear about their experience too of how they got into fishing. What y'all all want to know is how much money we raised for Crayfish Creek, and we'll hop into the raffle. We raised $690 for Crayfish Creek. That is going to go directly to phase 2 of the project. But yeah, we'll get into the raffle here. We got to cut them a check to basically kick off their fundraising for phase 2 of Crayfish Creek Restoration Project, and everyone there was so pumped.
Well, we just wrapped up an awesome event here at the Fishhawk. It was super awesome raising money for Crayfish Creek. Gabe, thank you a ton for hosting.
Yeah, man, can't thank y'all enough for stopping by. We had a great event. Got to spend some time with the Atlanta fly fishing community, and now y'all are off on your next leg.
It was a great homecoming, having friends, family here, seeing the community grow. It's been really awesome, and from here, it's a great jumping point. We're heading off to South Carolina. We've got a great toy next to the shop right here. I think we're gonna tow off.